neighborhoods and homes. The relief and rescue operation, which have been continuing on a war footing, are now in the final stage. The death toll has crossed 350, while 300 more are missing, prompting widespread fears that the death toll may even surpass 500. In yet another miraculous rescue by the agencies, the Coast Guard has rescued 3 people who was stranded near a waterfall in Churalmala for 5 days. One of those rescued has been severely injured and has been shifted for medical treatment. Times Network has been reporting relentlessly from the ground. Take a look at some of these reports and reactions.
The Sarang chopper of the Indian Air Force here, coming out to Churalmala, right next to the Bailey Bridge that has been constructed, carrying out a recce operation. They are looking at the possible need for medical supplies or any other essentials, be it for anybody who could still be trapped in the forest area or around the landslide region, or even for the rescue personnel. They have also here, of course, showing the prowess of this particular chopper. Of course, built by HAL. It is an indigenous helicopter, and more importantly, of course, showing its capabilities of hovering in such difficult terrains, landing as well. So this chopper right now, after conducting his recce, going back to base and will be around here for the people when and however they need it.
No, I think the government has been doing whatever they can, and so have all the volunteers, including the people from the area itself.
Yeah.
It's a tragic situation. I just brought a couple of truckloads of assistance from Thiruvananthapuram. The people are all anxious to help everywhere in Kerala. And though I understand that food supplies are plentiful in the area, there are other needs. For example, the homeless are sleeping on the floor, and for that they need not sort of full mattresses, but sort of spongy, soft bedrolls to put on the floor that they can sleep on. We've got a whole bunch of those, other kinds of supplies like that. But the challenges are enormous. First of all, they're still finding bodies. I think it's unlikely to find any live people now, which means that the death toll will keep going up as they find more bodies. There's still a couple of hundred people missing. On top of that, there are larger challenges. The relief camps are mainly in schools, but the schools have to reopen soon. So we need to make arrangements to relocate people into rented or other kinds of accommodation, and then plan their long-term rehabilitation, building houses and so on for them. But though their lives have been saved, what do we do about their livelihoods? Because they are all people who lived here in the farms and the plantations. It's going to be an enormous human challenge. And then the orphans, those who have lost both parents, they need to be taken care of. Their education is going to be a predominant concern. These are some of the things I'm thinking about.
So meanwhile, there's a little bit of a political debate as well, whether the centre had informed the state and the state didn't take necessary precautions when the the weather went bad. Is that something that you?
I don't want to get into the politics of it now. I think both sides have spoken for themselves. As you say, the centre has said they've done certain things, and the state says that the information given was not adequate.
See, first of all, the kind of catastrophe that has unfolded here calls for serious attention. We first did our part by raising it in Parliament. My colleague will tell you about it. But apart from that, we are unanimous that there has to be proper funding and expeditious funding, because the kind of damage that has been brought to homes and people and schools and infrastructure, rehabilitation is going to be a big challenge. But one thing we will say, it's very painful to hear the Home Minister of India saying on the floor of the House that we gave 3 warnings to the Kerala government. What are the warnings? Heavy rainfall, very heavy rainfall, and very, very heavy rainfall. This is not what we expect from the Union Home Minister.
We have been meeting people, and what we're realizing is the relief work is a very small part of it. The rehabilitation that is going to come later is what is going to be the most important, because people are now afraid to go back. They've lost their homes. About 500 homes are going to have to be built again. In this situation, I had raised in the Parliament as well. I requested Mr. Amit Shah, through him, to tell the Finance Minister that in this budget she's announced flood relief for 5 states. She specifically excluded West Bengal, but I'm not going to get into the politics of that. But the budget is still under consideration. What we requested is, if the Finance Minister can show a little bit of heart, and this disaster has happened while the budget session is going on, if Kerala specifically and also Bengal can be included in the list of states that are getting flood relief, because in North Bengal as well as in Wayanad, we've seen that the situation is extremely bad.
He has been given the position of Lieutenant Colonel as well here in the Indian Army. We are also told that he also owns a little bit of property around here in Mundukai and Suramana around that. He just was at that location now, of course, here to brief the media in just a while from now. And while, of course, we're looking at a lot of people from politicians to, even actors now paying a visit here. We should note that on one hand, of course, there is a devastation. On the other, the people here are only hoping that there is, enough support that they get in terms of rehabilitation at this point in time. Various announcements have been made by politicians when they come here. Some of the actors have also donated to the Chief Minister's Relief Fund. Let me take you through the situation here while, of course, the rescue operations continue. Right now, it has been changed into various phases. Up until now, it was predominantly around the area where the homes were. But now you can see earth movers operating by the river, because through these boulders, through the debris here, many of the people were washed away downstream. So that is where these teams right now that you're seeing are operating at. They are trying to clear up some of the debris around the river to see if there is a possibility that they could find anybody under the rubble there. So it's an extensive operation, and right now it's predominantly search, because the time for rescue is nearly over, and right now it will be only a miracle if they find anybody alive under the rubble. And more importantly, even downstream, about 20 to 30 kilometers, there are teams that continue to operate, and they will do so because about 100 bodies were found in a neighboring district.